What's up guys, Dirtbag Gaming here, the channel for casual raiders. We're going to do a guide today on gear. It's not going to be a full-blown gear guide because I'm going to do another separate video set of like what kind of gear you're looking for, but this video is going to be what type of gear is going to be the best to focus on to level up to 16 before everything else, before endgame, before clan boss, before ultra nightmare, all that stuff. Which gear should you be focusing on to get up to 12 first and then 16 later and not waste all of your silver, which is a precious resource in this game, to help you out. Alright guys, so let's get into it. First off, which gear sets are we looking for to level up or keep in our very limited space and not waste all the silver on? So first thing, let's go top to bottom. We're just going to kind of talk about them and go over what to keep, what not to keep. Look at the example of what I'm keeping and what I'm not keeping. All right, let's go back up to the top. First one is the health set. What does the health set benefit us? It gives us an extra 15% HP for 2 set. 2 set is great. Keeping 2 sets are great so that we don't have a whole bunch of broken sets. But this is fine, keeping these, especially early game, to get an extra 15% HP. But that's about it. It doesn't do anything else special because there's so many other things that do special stuff for us, whether it be 15 HP and a shield, or 15 HP and a shield artifact. But with just 15 HP, it's not going to be for anybody that I'm going to use in the clan boss, because mainly you're going to look for defense. It's not going to use a lot of guys in dungeon. It might be in dungeons, but PvP, just because you're going to get one-shotted by Rotos because you have no defense, right? So the ones that I kept are usually speed or HP. So like example of keeping this one, I usually only go up to 12. I never boost up to 16 unless I'm gearing it for a guy, and that's about it. So usually I only level up if there's an event going on. If there's no event going on for whatever, I'm not leveling up any gear. It's just not happening. I'm not wasting my silver and not getting credited for leveling up the gear. So that's my first tip, is don't level up unless there's an event going on. So cheers to that. So this one I'm going to sell because there's no reason I should keep this gear right here. We're going to sell this one. So as an example of like leveling up just for the event and then selling it. This one I'm going to keep because if it's an HP set with 22% HP and obviously speed on top of that, that's pretty good to keep. This one has speed. Anytime you have speed, I always want to try and keep that gear. And if there's percentages, I want to try and keep that as well. If it's a base stat, like I usually, there you go, 2 on the HP. See, this is a straight, this didn't get a roll in the HP, but if it did, I would have sold it. But it's got 9 and then 16 crit. Crit's also a good one that you want to keep, but this is something that I would probably sell. This one right here, 10% attack. This you definitely want to sell because you don't want to attack gloves, so we'll sell those. What else? This defense. So any stat like this, you just want to sell because it's a flat stat, especially on the bottom 3. So if you have like gloves, chests, or boots, if they're flat stats, you usually want to sell them. Attack percent I started keeping. They're different rarity boots, not just all speed. Like obviously you want to keep all the speed boots, but other boots, other stats you want to start keeping, especially towards the end game, because you don't know if you're going to make a go second team or a super tanky team or a super resistant team. Start keeping random stats like defense and attack if they have good offsets. So the substats on here is 20% crit, which is really good. That's 20% crit extra plus attack. That's a pretty good boot, right? So I'd keep that as a 6-star, so that's going to get up to 60% attack. And then obviously speed, I'm going to keep the speed boots. At 16, it probably came off of somebody, so I just kept it there. But look, I don't have a lot of HP set pieces. Like that's it. Those are my HP. I can probably sell this one too. Attack, same thing. When I was getting through the game, I had a ton of attack artifacts. I started getting rid of them because I don't use them a lot, like almost ever. Like I'd rather get the 15% attack and ignore 5% from the clan boss, 5% armor. So I'd rather keep those than these. Plus I get a lot more of those than these anyway. So the ones that I kept are obviously speed. This one I could sell. These just creep in there because sometimes you open up this and then you exit out and you don't know what's new or what's not. This one again I'm keeping just because the 3 roll of speed, awesome. HP, 60% HP, it's a 16, so I kept it. And then defense, accuracy, crit rate, speed, crit. So this is pretty good stats, especially if you need accuracy on a thing. So again, 4 of them. I have 4 in the attack. Defense, a good set. Not the best, but again, defense type champions, you can use this a lot. I had this still in some of my champions, especially for the clan boss. So if you go like 2 speed, 1 speed, and like it's a 2. So any 2-piece like defense set, just throw it on there for an extra 15% defense, especially on defense champions. It's huge bonus. So I always get up to 8, especially on blues, and then maybe 12 on like this one, just because it's not that much to level up to 12, especially for an event, to see what the stats are. So this is 24 defense, and I got HP and crit, which is pretty good substats. And I'd probably go 1 more to see if I get another HP or another crit. And then I'd either keep it or sell it. But it's a defense chess piece on a defense set. Perfect, right? So this one, probably not good. I would probably sell this because it's an attack on a defense set. Probably not going to use it that much, if not ever. Then we got boots. Obviously speed boots I'm going to keep because I don't have any other speed boots in here. Definitely want those. And then shields are always good because shields are just, they're in the defense set and you get defense for being there. So I started keeping resistance because I'm trying to look for resistance for my new team. And then crit rate, defense, got defense percentage. If this defense substat, like regular defense, I'm selling it. Now, one you're really going to have a lot of is speed. I would keep as many speed sets as possible as long as the stats are good on them. This, again, I'm weird, but I'm starting to keep resistance because I'm really looking for resistance for my one specific team. That's the only reason I'm keeping this. And I got a resistance roll in a speed set with a speed substat. That's why I'm keeping it. So this one's 16. Again, resistance, speed. Try and keep as many speed, right? Things that you have just for late game. You can sell them later, but if you have speed substats, that's going to help you out in the late game, especially in the arena. This one, perfect. It's a flat stat of attack, but look at the roll and speed. Perfect. It's awesome, and I still get 2 more stats after this, and it's a 6-star. So these are some things that I'm keeping. Again, look, 12. These are probably came from other people. Anytime you see these that came from somebody, like I took it off of them, yeah. But most of the time, there's nothing on it, and it's only up to 12. So this one I'd probably sell. I'd probably keep this because it's speed, and it's a defense percentage. It's not bad. Okay, accuracy, I started keeping accuracy in speed sets just because if I get somebody like, who did I keep with an accuracy recently? It was it her? It was somebody that had accuracy on the chess piece that I only used for like debuffing. I'm sorry, I forget who it was, but I kept it for the chess piece because I only used her to debuff stuff. Definitely wasn't him. Might have been Prince Kymar. Was it Prince Kymar? No. And no. Okay, so sorry. It was one of the guys that it was him. Was it him? His accuracy. Look at that. So I kept this accuracy banner because it had speed. And I used it strictly for this guy who only debuffs. He's only my arena team, and maybe faction wars. But look at that. Why else would you keep an accuracy thing? I only kept it because it was speed set, had speed substat, and that was it. That was the only reason I kept it. So most of the time you're going to sell them in the offsets. All right. So there's an example of all the speed stuff. This is good if you really just want to kind of take 12% less crit rate on your guys. So if you don't want to do a crit rate glove, you can then kind of use this and get an extra 12% on top of that. So usually this set, I want to pair it up with crit rate, obviously. So if I do crit rate, I want to keep the crit rate. That doesn't mean crit rate, but I got a good speed roll. Crit rate, crit rate, crit rate. So that's why I'm keeping the crit rate, is because the crit rate sets. All right. So if I put 2 of those on, it might be like 12 plus an extra 30 right there. So that's 42 crit rate just from 2 pieces, right? This is from Fire Knight, getting this gear, so I try and keep a little bit more of this gear because it's very good. Extra 20% crit damage is awesome. So I try and keep crit rate sets in here like if it has crit rate, this automatically gives you an extra 20% crit damage. So kind of pairing those two, definitely going to help out. So looking for the crit rate sets, perfect, right? So that's kind of what you're looking for there. Accuracy, I love accuracy, especially if you're not going to level the guy up to 60 as soon as possible. Having accuracy on these is definitely going to help. Who do I have? I have this guy level 50, but he's got 233 accuracy with no neck and no banner. So getting up to 233 accuracy, I don't even think he has the mastery. Look, he doesn't even have the mastery because I can't get the 50 accuracy, but I got 233 accuracy because he's got this accuracy set. So that is the example of why you're going to keep accuracy, because of that, right? I don't know who else. I had my Prince Kymer at 50 and I did the same thing. I just put him in accuracy sets because that's a 40% or 40 accuracy. That's awesome. I don't know why I exited out. All right, so I think we're on accuracy. So accuracy, you're going to have quite a bit, right? Have some accuracy. The resist, not really going to have resist until you get up to late game. So you could keep your really good resist gear, right? Speed and resist, that's kind of what you want. Resistance, speed. I'm using most of my resistance gear already on my guys, so that's why I don't have a lot. But you don't really want to keep the resistance until you get up to late game. And then you can be like, oh, why didn't I keep the resist? Who else? Then we got, alright, Lifesteal you're going to have a ton of. It's going to be a dragon run, so you're going to level up dragons a lot, so you're going to have a ton of Lifesteal. Most of your clan boss team's got to be Lifesteal, so you're going to need a lot of Lifesteal, a lot of different Lifesteal pieces, mainly for defense, speed, just have enough speed, like 191, you don't have to go crazy with the speed. You want crit rate for the damage, mainly defense, crit rate, and speed. Those are going to be the stats you're looking for the Lifesteal. Fury, I don't ever use. I kept it really just because it's a speed roll, crit roll, but it's a 4-piece set. It's really just for like the off set that you need, like just for extra speed. So I only keep offsets like this. This is a great example. I only keep offsets if I roll 1 to 2 extra in speed. So this is because like if I have a go second team, crit rate, attack, this I have to roll, and if I get speed, I'll keep it. If I don't, I'm going to sell it. This, I got speed and crit rate, that's good. And this, if I roll this and it gets defense, I'm going to sell it. So that's an example of a set that you don't ever use. Days, you don't really use days because once you hit somebody, they kind of get out of the days. So you're not really going to use this set a lot. But same thing, I'm only keeping these sets if they have speed substats. If they don't have any speed substats, I'm selling them. Yeah, see all the ones that I have that aren't speed, they're all speed. So every single substat I have is speed. So only keep the speed substats unless you're doing like specific resistance, stuff like that. This one, same thing, I don't use this at all. I don't even know why I have these, probably because I still have to roll in them to see if I get speed. So I'm only going to keep them and then only level them up if I have a event going on, like a artifact enhancement event. I'll level them up to 8 or 12 and then sell them if they don't get the right stats. And that's kind of how you keep your silver consistent. So like, let's say I level this up to 8. Let's say I level this up to 4. I get defense, right? All right, I'm selling it. I level up to 8 just because. Then I sell it. I get some of the money back that I used, so that way I can then use that money for the next artifact. That's kind of a way to do the artifact events. Is like keep most of the gear that you want to keep, and then level them up to 8 or 12, and then sell them. It's probably the easiest way to do it. This set, same thing. You can use this on like a very defensive, high tanky PvP team or faction wars. So if you're not at that point of the game yet, you don't need to keep any of this stuff because 20% freeze is on the attack. So if they attack you, then you have a 20% chance to place a freeze. That's it. I thought it was the other way around, where if you do an AoE, you can freeze them. No, it doesn't work that way. Chance to place a freeze debuff on attacker, so they have to attack you. So I found that out a lot longer, so that's probably why I have more pieces than I thought, but I should be selling most of the stuff. And again, I'm only keeping it because of the speed. So this is an HP defense roll. If I don't get speed in the next few rolls, I'm selling it. Because it's also a 4 set. Another 4 set, again, I don't have any of these unless it's speed. So resistance, I want to keep that because I'm making a resistance team, but it's got speed subset, perfect. I've never seen anyone use this ever, so I'm going to sell these if they don't get speed. This has 1 speed roll and a crit rate, so it's a 6-star, that's why I kept it. This one you want to start keeping. So late game arena, perfect. So if you like are late game and you're like, crap, I don't have any immunity, start keeping immunity sets. This is definitely going to help out, especially for the tankier, higher gold 4, platinum teams. You want to keep the immunity sets. Shield set, another endgame faction wars, not really arena. I mean, you can use it in the arena, but not early game. This is going to be a set that you're only going to want to be looking for HP, because the shield buffs up on the HP, 30% HP ally shield. So however much your main guy has in HP is how much of the shield is going to be for. So if you have a guy that doesn't have a lot of HP and you put the shield set on, you're going to get like that much shield. It's not really worth it. So you want a ton of HP, so you want to keep stuff that has HP percentage. Flat HP, not so much. HP percentage, attack, HP. I'm probably going to sell this if I don't get more speed. But season no HP, so that's not a good thing. No HP, I gotta sell that. HP, but again, you want to keep the HP and speed. So those are the sets you're looking for the shield. Anything else without HP, you kind of want to sell because it's pointless. You're not really going to benefit from it. All right. Another example I didn't really say is you want to try and always keep 4 of a set. Now, what do I mean by that? Is this is a great example. I have weapon, helmet, a shield, and a chest and boots. So I have 5 pieces potentially to do. Like, let's say this was a 4 set, right? I would have at least 4 pieces to get the set bonus. If I don't have 4 pieces, it's pointless. Like, you can have the best 3 pieces in the entire game, but you're not getting the bonus of 12%, so it's pointless keeping it. So keep at least 1 of each of the best stats. So this one was the best stats I had. I sold the other one. This one, really good stats, good stats. Kept those 2, sold the crappier ones. This one, good stats, crit rate, that's about it. And speed, crit rate, good stats, sell the crappy ones. This one, not the best, so I'd probably have to use this, which also isn't the best. So I'd probably have to go these 4, and then speed boots. So that's an example that I forgot to mention. You want to keep 1 of each. So that's another good thing to say. These you only get in tournaments. So I wouldn't really focus too heavily on these. I would just keep all of the ones you can. I have some in here that just suck. Like, they're so bad, but I kept them just because they're very hard to get. You can only get them in tournaments. So you can't farm these, you can't win them. It's just got to be tournaments that you can win these on. So that's about it. So keep all these. I know it's going to take up some space. Keep them, all right? Because you're not always, but they're really cool. Like, it's really cool to just get extra turns. Savage, another good thing to keep. It hits really freaking hard, like especially late game, and you can rotate your Savage gear. I have a couple guys that have Savage gear, and like he's got Savage. I want to maybe rotate it to Rotos at some point, but he's got Relentless. But you can rotate the gear if you find out that you're not using him as much. Like, let's say you have a level 60 and you're like, all right, this guy I'm going to use him more on. You can then just take off all the great gear on this guy, put it on another guy, and you don't have to level up again. But I definitely want to keep the Savage because it's a really good set. Very, very good set late game. Very good set. Destroy, get rid of. Just everything on bosses, it's stupid. Get rid of it. Stun, another good set. You're going to keep as many pieces of stun as possible. They don't have to be the best stats, but the chance to stun is the best thing in the game is stunning. It doesn't reset the cooldown, so like your 4 turn and your stun, it still stays at 4 turn, which is awesome if you're attacking. And then it's really good for faction crypts, especially for like lower guys that like, all right, I have a level 50 guy, I can put stun sets on and now he's good. You know, so this set right here changes your meta a little bit. I don't know, example, like if I had, so what's her name? The red girl, this girl. If I put her in like right now she's got Savage, but if I put her in a stun set, she's got an AoE on her A1, that's awesome. Like, she's gonna just keep stunning as much as possible. I think I have stun set on my level 40 chick. Yeah, look at that, stun set on a level 40. Like, that's what I'm talking about. So you put a stun set on a lower level, it now makes them viable for faction wars. Awesome. I'm going to keep as many stuns as possible. This, not so much. This is only mainly for clan boss. So if you have a clan boss that maybe needs a little bit more damage, or you have a green guy like the monk that you really want to get as much damage out of him, you can put him in a poison set. But most of the time you're not going to be using this. Strictly just keeping the speed. So I'd probably sell this one. See, that's tough. Maybe keep the 15 crit, crit, speed. So I'm selling the ones that aren't getting the speed rolls. So I'll sell this one. So that's what I mean, like only keeping the speed stuff. This set, I don't even know why I have it. I think I kept it because like maybe one day I'll make a 30% provoke. So the only reason I'm keeping it is because if I have one of each, so I have a pretty good headpiece, a good chest piece. This one I have to roll, see what I get, and a good weapon. So I need one more, like a boot or anything else to make my 4-piece set, and then that's it. I'm not getting any more. I'm just going to keep those 4 just in case one day I'm going to need a 30% chance to place a provoke, then I'll keep it. This one, same thing. 30% to counterattack when hit with a critical. Okay. This I'd rather have the other one, which is, I gotta sell that. The other 20% or percent chance to counterattack, but this one I'm keeping maybe one of each, but only if it has speed, right? So not a lot. Here, I have so many because I don't know why, but Stalwart is like really good for the clan boss if you have a bad L. I have a bad L, so I'm like, all right, one day eventually, maybe I'm gonna put Stalwart gear on all my guys. Hasn't happened yet, but that's why I have so much Stalwart gear, is because if you're in the clan boss endgame, it stops 30% damage taken under AoE, and 2 out of 3 of the attacks are AoE attacks, and the third attack is only on one guy, so the other guys don't even get hit. So that's why, it's such a good set for the clan boss endgame. Keep your Stalwart gear. You never know when you can use it. Reflex, no. The percent to reduce, like they have the new things down here that you can get to do that, but I gotta sell this. I've just been campaign farming a ton, so I'll sell that. This, so you get clan boss stuff with this and the HP. So these two are from clan boss. You're gonna get a ton of these. You don't have to save the ones you're not sure about because you're gonna replace them pretty freaking fast. I have to go through these one day and just get rid of 50 of them because there's so many of them. But like this, right? I have to roll and see what I get here, see if I get speed, sell this because there's no really reason for that. That's a really good one. 18 crit, 10 speed, 6, like that's a really good weapon. But see, I only level up to 12 and then just let it sit, right? But yeah, you have to go through these and you're gonna replace them fast. So it's okay if you sell these and you're like, oh, I don't know if I should sell it. You're gonna get it again, right? You're always gonna get it almost every single day. This one's same exact thing. Sell them, because I sell them all the time. Look how many I still have. So many. This thing, I think you get PvP, so you get them every week, but they're not the best. Like 15% attack and 15% shield. Why do you need a shield if you're just going to try and one-shot everybody? Like this combo is just not the best. It's more so faction wars or dungeons. If you have it on an attack champion, you can make them survive one turn more, but that's about it. You're not really going to rely on the shield in anything else, ever. So I don't have a lot of these because I'm only keeping the ones that like have stuff like that. Let's say I need one gear that gives me 18 plus crit. Oh, look at that. I got a gear that has 18 crit. Let me throw that on my one dude. I don't even need the set piece. I just need 18 crit. Boom, I got one piece there. Now I have 100% crit. Example, Ronus, look at that. He's got a Stalwart chest piece, but this has 80% crit damage. But look at that crit roll. 16% extra crit on my 80% crit damage. That's the example that I'm telling you to keep just for the one off set piece. So let's say this, you need 18% crit, or you need 14 speed. There you go. You got one gear to give you that. The rest is sets. Crit rate, this is another one another example. You got 12% crit, but 15 shield when you're probably just going to one-shot anybody. So I have to go through these because I got a bunch of them recently. So I have to go through these, sell these. This one's a little bit different. So this one is more for tanky guys, but it's 15% HP and 15% shield. So that's really good for your tanks, for the people that you don't want to die, your rezzers, clan boss is not really going to help out, but faction wars, like you put this on lower level faction war guys, these three. You keep these for lower level faction wars, it's going to help out a lot. I'd rather go this one than the shield, because this plus, it's 15 HP plus you heal 3% every turn, so this is healing you every turn compared to just 15 shield for the first 3 turns. So that's why this is so much better. Same with this. 5% ignore defense is so much better than this. So I'm going to get rid of this, keep the other ones. Same this, get rid of this, keep the other ones. Keep these because it's not bad, it's only a 2-piece, but get rid of everything else. This, keep. Anything with speed in the game, keep. Very hard to get because it's weekly, but you're going to keep these as long as they have like good substats. Got a crit there, HP. Probably sell this one unless it rolls HP a couple times. Sell this one unless it rolls crit rate. If I get crit damage, like a bunch, but not a lot of crit rate, you have to make sure that you have 100% crit rate, because if you have 200 crit damage but 50 crit rate, you're wasting stats. Like you're wasting the crit damage because you're not even going to crit every time. So make sure that you have 100% crit rate before you start focusing on the crit damage. Another tip. This says brand new. I'm keeping every single one that I could possibly get. I don't know when it's going to be good. It's amazing, but I don't know when that piece I'm going to need it. Like let's say I have 3 really good pieces and this one piece is like okay. Like this one. Okay, I'm just going to keep it because it's a really freaking good set. I'm making these, so I'm making like one at a time every couple days because it's really hard to get the mats for it. This set I haven't really tested that much. It's new. 20% HP, 20% defense, 25% chance. It's a 4-piece, so it's hard to get. So again, I'm going to keep all of these. This one, pretty easy to get. Like there's so many that you can make these two, but it's just a new set that you get just more stats. It's a 2-piece, so that's good. Keeping this one just sucks, but I'm probably going to sell this. But again, it's an HP plus 10% HP, and you get 5% there and 1,000 there. So it's not that bad. For like a lower level guy, I wouldn't put this on like a really high level 60. It's really just like, okay, faction wars. And then this stuff I'm going to keep because of accuracy. So it's your accuracy set, but 5% extra speed. So you're like, all right, am I going to keep my accuracy stuff or am I going to keep that stuff? I'd rather keep that stuff because you have 5% speed on top of your accuracy, which is always good. So it's the same thing, 40% accuracy, but you get extra 5 speed. I'd rather have that than this. That's kind of why I'm starting to slim down on these other stuff that's like old. Right? So that I think concludes my suggestion for gear. So I forget what the name is of the video, but I hope this really helped because I definitely enjoyed going through all that with you guys. I wish I watched this when I first started because look how many we're limited to how much space we can have. I started having 700 at 700, and I had to go through like I spent hours in my gear to really go through everything and see what's good and what's not good. You don't want to equip it to guys and just keep them on your guys because then you're gonna have to pay to get them off your guys. I would definitely not suggest that. Like, oh, I'll just put 500 pieces on my crappy dudes. Don't do that because then you're gonna spend what? 600,000 if they're 6 stars to get off one guy. Not worth it. So be precise on what you're going to keep, what you're not going to keep. Don't be too cautious by selling gear that you're like, you're going to get more gear later on. The ones that I said definitely keep those, and the ones that you're like, whatever, sell them. Like don't second guess. The game is going to go on forever. It doesn't end. There's no end to this game. You're going to get it again. So that's my example of that gear. Let's go. Do we want to do part 2? How long is this video? We are at, I don't know what the timing is. Screw it. We're at 20 minutes. We're going to go into part 2. So I'm going to make a part 2 video right after this one to go over accessories. Alright, so guys, appreciate the time. Hit the like button if it helped you. Subscribe so that way you can watch this next video pop up. Thanks. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Watch the next video.